As parents, it's heartbreaking to watch your child struggle, especially if he's starting a detox protocol you really hope would help, only to see behavior and symptoms get worse. If you've begun a heavy metal detox and we're now seeing meltdowns, sensory challenges, sleep issues, seizures, motor tics, anxiety, or other signs you thought were behind you, you're not alone. And believe it or not, this is more common than you've been told. Here's what most practitioners aren't explaining. There are two very different reasons for this kind of regression, and understanding the difference between can change everything about your child's healing journey. This message is for parents who are seeing setbacks during detoxes or those considering feeling unsure and overwhelmed. You'll discover why regression happens, how to tell if it's part of the healing process or a warning sign, and more importantly, the foundational step that should always come before a detox to make it safer and far more effective. A recent study looked at 59 known toxic chemicals and set out to see if these chemicals were present or not in the umbilical cord blood, meaning they've been passed from mother to a developing baby in their brain and nervous system. Shockingly and sadly, 80% of these toxic chemicals were indeed found in cord blood being passed on to the baby. Our children are being exposed to heavy metals and environmental toxins before they even take their first breath. Then you add in the astonishing high amount of heavy metals and other toxic chemicals infants and kids are exposed to things like vaccinations, medications, and all sorts of environmental pollutants. Household cleaners, pesticides, preservatives, chemicals in foods, laundry detergents, you name it, the list goes on and on. The CDC estimates that 1 in 6 children in the United States has a developmental condition and that 40% or more of kids today have at least one chronic illness. With research continuing to come out more and more that increasingly connects these neurodevelopmental issues to heavy metal exposure and frequent exposure to toxins and environmental pollutants. When parents finally find this information and truth, they set out on a path to get those toxins and chemicals out of the child's body as fast as possible. It's where the heavy metal and other detox protocols come into play. But one thing you'll know and understand by the end of this message is how important that is to do, but also that something perhaps even more important and more foundational may need to be done first. Before we get ahead of ourselves, it's important to understand the two types of detox regressions. The first type of regression is actually a positive sign that healing is occurring. When toxins are being mobilized from tissue where they've been stored, they temporarily recirculate through the bloodstream before elimination causes a flare-up of signs. This is known in functional medicine as a healing crisis, and it's part of the essential healing process. The second type occurs when your child's body, specifically their nervous system, is simply not ready to handle detoxification. In this case, the detox pathways are compromised, overwhelmed due to underlying neurological dysfunction at what's known as a subluxation dysautonomia, leading to more severe and prolonged regression. Learning to differentiate between these two types of regression is critical for knowing whether to continue with the detox or pause and address the foundation first. This leads us to what we call the perfect storm of factors that affect your child's detox capacity. Most children struggling with chronic health issues have experienced what we call the perfect storm. A sequence of events beginning as early as pregnancy that disrupt normal neurological development and function. The three main components of this perfect storm are fertility challenges and the high levels of maternal stress during pregnancy that affects fetal nervous system development. Physical birth trauma from interventions like forceps, vacuum extraction, C-sections that damage the delicate brainstem and upper nerve region. And early exposure to toxins and medications like antibiotics. This perfect storm creates a subluxation, a complex neurological dysfunction that is completely overlooked and ignored by conventional medical providers, and often even misunderstood or missed entirely by functional and integrative providers as well, who focus almost exclusively on toxins, gut health, detox, etc. When subluxation occurs, it shifts the entire nervous system into a sympathetic dominance or constant state of fight or flight mode, while suppressing the parasympathetic rest, digest, and heal function governed by the vagus nerve. Here's why nervous system healing must come before detox. The body's detoxification system relies heavily on proper nervous system function, particularly the parasympathetic branch that activates digestive motility, liver function, and elimination pathways. When a child is stuck in sympathetic dominance, the body diverts energy and blood flow away from organs of detoxification like the liver and kidneys, making detox protocols less effective and more likely to cause severe side effects. The vagus nerve, which is easily damaged during birth interventions, is essential for activating the parasympathetic rest and digest functions necessary for effective detoxification. It's like driving with the emergency brake on. It's like it's like trying to drive cross country with the emergency brake on. You're forcing movement, which is detox, but the system isn't built to handle it yet, causing damage, overheating, and burnout along the way. So let's talk about the proper sequence, clinically proven in our experience, to get the best results. In natural drug-free healing, nothing matters more than the sequence of batting order, or different providers and care protocols. First, neurologically focused chiropractic care should be the foundation of any healing journey, addressing subluxation and restoring proper nervous system function before attempting detoxification or any other interventions, therapies, and modalities. Next, focus on movement-based therapies. The very first thing the body relies on for both brain health and developmental and detoxification is movement. And from there, work on functional nutrition, gut health, detoxification, etc. If your child is experiencing regression during detox, don't lose hope. This might actually be a sign that deeper healing is needed at the neurological level. Rather than abandoning the detox journey altogether, consider taking a step back to address the foundational first. Neurologically focused chiropractic care can help restore proper function to your child's nervous system, creating a stable foundation for effective, less symptomatic detoxification. At Vanella Chiropractic, we specialize not only in the foundational neurological focus adjustments that help get the nervous system back in balance, better regulated, and in a more ready state to respond to interventions like detoxification and so forth. But we also can step in and help you take on the ridiculously tough job of putting together the right batting order and healing sequence for your child. We not only know the nervous system and the root cause of healing inside out, but we work hard to build a network of other providers and specialists who can step in and keep supporting that healing framework once the nervous system is more stable and ready to happen. Knowing what order to put these healing interventions in and when to put them into play is really the most overlooked and wildly important aspect of helping your child heal optimally and reach their full potential with as few speed bumps as possible. For both parents and providers alike, it can often feel like more is more, but in reality, what we know is that doing things in the right order and truly taking the time to repair and restore that foundation of the nervous system first makes all the difference in the world. Always remember your child's body has an incredible innate capacity to heal. Sometimes it just needs the right support and the right sequence to reach that perfect unlock and ultimate breakthrough.